Welcome to episode number 1 of this brand new Madden 23 Fantasy Draft Franchise series. And today I'm obviously starting my Madden 23 Fantasy Draft Franchise, and it's with, well, one of the two teams on the screen. It's either Jacksonville or Washington. Drum roll. It's the Jaguars. And you might be thinking, did you pick the Jaguars, or did you or you might be thinking to yourself, did you pick the Jaguars, or did the Jaguars because you used like a wheel and the wheel stopped on the Jaguars, or used the NFL team randomizer online? Well, the third option would be correct. I used the NFL team randomizer online, reran it once, and then the team that was number 1 was the Jacksonville Jaguars. So that's the team I'm using, which really for a fantasy draft franchise does not really matter, because obviously you don't have like the real Jaguars roster, because it's fantasy draft, and I don't even have their coach, which is not even Urban Meyer. It's Doug Peterson, but it was Doug Peterson. Now it's Dash C. So in Madden 23, I have a Vinny J player, a Vinny J coach, and then I also have a Dash C player and a Dash C coach. And so yeah, the Jaguars are playing the Commanders here in Week 1 in Washington, or at least with the Commanders being the home team. I don't think the Commanders actually play in Washington D.C. I think their stadium, which is FedEx Field, I think is actually in Maryland, which is a state on the East Coast, right next to our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. But I don't think the FedEx Field, home of the Washington Commanders, is actually in Washington. I don't think it's actually in Washington, D.C. But either way, let's look at the team. This is fantasy draft. I've been doing a fantasy draft. I think I did one with the Panthers in Madden 21, and I did one with the Saints in Madden 22. And we lost the Super Bowl in Madden 21, but we won the Super Bowl and went undefeated at 20 and in Madden 21 Fantasy Draft Franchise. I lost the Super Bowl. And Madden 22 Fantasy Draft Franchise, I won the Super Bowl with the Saints, and we went undefeated at 20 and 0. So not bad at all. Obviously we started with the Panthers. Here's, I think I went to the wrong screen. Yeah, I went to the wrong screen. I meant to go to the depth chart instead. I went to the adjust lineup. But, and then obviously after this, I'll set the season goal, then speak to the media about opening the ATs, and then we'll get into Week 1 against the Commanders here. Let's just say in D.C. Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. But like I said, Madden 21 faces the franchise, or Madden 21 Fantasy Draft Franchise. I had my team in my Madden 21 Fantasy Draft Franchise was the Carolina Panthers. We lost the Super Bowl. I forgot who we lost it to, but we lost the Super Bowl in my Madden 21 Fantasy. We lost the Super Bowl in my Madden 21 Fantasy Draft Franchise with the Carolina Panthers. And then Madden 22 Fantasy Draft Franchise, I won the Super Bowl with the New Orleans Saints. Or I won the Super Bowl in my Madden 22 Fantasy Draft Franchise with the New Orleans Saints. And that year, like I said, we won the Super Bowl. That was in my previous Fantasy Draft Franchise back in Madden 22. I was with the New Orleans Saints, and we went 20 and 0 and won the Super Bowl. So we had an undefeated season, and we won the Super Bowl. And like I said, we went 17 and 0 in the regular season, and then we had 3 playoff games. So 17 plus 3 is 20. So we went 20 and 0 in my Madden 22 Fantasy Draft Franchise. And like I said, we went 20 and 0, and we won the Super Bowl against the Raiders. We beat them up. It was like 42-7 or 49-7. But either way, new game, new Fantasy Draft Franchise. Our quarterback is Derek Carr, with our backup being Geno Smith, and then our third string being Blaine Gabbert. I'm not sure why we have 3 quarterbacks, but we do. Derrick Henry, 98 overall running back. He's 6'3", 247. This is his 7th year in the NFL. He's from Alabama, and he can shred some people because he has that superstar X Factor, a freight train. We also have James Conner, Trevon Coleman, and then we have Antonio Williams. I'm not sure why we have 4 running backs, but we do. Who took the fullback? A wide receiver, Davante Adams. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, obviously in real life, Davante Adams and Derek Carr are on the same team, just on the Las Vegas Raiders. And obviously they went to the same college. Both went to Fresno State. Obviously Davante Adams was picked by the Packers. Obviously now in the Raiders because the Packers traded Davante Adams for a draft pick to the Raiders back in March. But so in real life, Davante Adams and Derek Carr are on the Las Vegas Raiders, and in this game they're on the same team still. They're just on the Jacksonville Jaguars. We also have Chris Godwin. I traded for him. I'll tell you why I traded for him in a minute. We also have Julio Jones, Cole Beasley, who is I'm not sure how old he is, but he's an 11th year player out of SMU. We have Isaiah Ford, and then this last guy here is a tight end. But we have Tyler Higbee as our primary tight end. We also have James O'Shaughnessy, and then we also have Josh Oliver. And then I think I should show you. Oh yeah, the one reason why I think it's not showing it here, but let's see who else we have. Who's not playing? OBJ. We have Odell Beckham Jr. The reason why if you can see that little thing over there, you can see that little, I don't know what that is, little marker over here, I guess you could call it. He's injured because in the Super Bowl he tore his ACL, and pre-existing injuries were on, and I drafted him forgetting that he tore his ACL in the Super Bowl, and he's out for like the entire season, so he won't be playing for the entire season. We do have for next year for season 2, if I do a season 2, because in my first 2 fantasy draft franchises, in Madden 21 and Madden 22, I only did 1 season for each of those fantasy draft franchises. But if I do a season 2, he'll be here for season 2. So that's why, because OBJ was injured, that's why I got Chris Godwin. Then I traded away, I think, a first-round pick for next year, a second-round pick for next year, and then I believe it was like a 6th-round pick for this year. And then I got Chris Godwin from, I think, the Bears, I'm pretty sure. I think it's the Bears I traded him from or got him from. So like I said, I traded a first-round pick and a second-round pick from next year. And then I traded a first and second round pick for next year, and a 6th round pick for this year for Chris Godwin, and I believe a 2nd round pick for this year. So, I mean, like I said, I did a first, 2nd round pick for next year, a 6th round pick for this year, and then I got in return the Chris Godwin, and then a 2nd round pick for this year. When I mean this year, I mean the next NFL draft. And when I mean next year, that means 2 NFL drafts. Alright, and then when I say this year, I mean the next NFL draft. When I say this year, I mean the next NFL draft. When I say next year, I mean 2 NFL drafts from now. Let's set the season goal before we get into the game. Let's get it. Not 4 wins at all. No. 4 wins, 7 wins. I believe, yeah, I made it to the playoffs or win the Super Bowl. I'm just not. This is in my Packers franchise. My goal in my Packers franchise is to make the playoffs. That's going to be the case. So commit your goal for the year. My goal will be make the playoffs, which is an aggressive goal. But I think this team can do it. I believe this team can make the playoffs. We're a 91 offense, an 81 defense, and we're an 86 overall. So we've got really good offense. Defense, obviously, is only 81, and then 81. We have a plus 11 for offense. They have a plus 4 for defense, and we have a plus 4 for overall. So they have a better defense, but the Commanders do. But the Jaguars have better offense and overall. And then let's speak to the media about opening day tees. Speak to the media about the tees that went in on opening day in Washington, D.C. It's opening day this week and a fresh start for every team around the league, and you'll be facing the Commanders. What's the key to victory? Dominant offense or stifling defense? Usually I would do stifling defense, but I don't want to do dominant offense just because our offense is at 91. Usually I do defense. I did defense for my Packers franchise, but I'm doing offense for my Jaguars fantasy draft franchise. Obviously, every offense wants to be balanced. So what's your main focus? I'm going to do running game. Pound the rock. So, pound the rock, beat the Commanders, and rush for 150 plus yards. Focus your offensive game plan on rushing to help achieve your goal. Yeah, that's helpful. So we gotta beat the Commanders and we gotta rush for 150 plus yards. I mean, not saying that's impossible, but maybe I should have done passing yards. But Oh yeah, I was gonna show you. It's probably easier if I show you the just lineup here before we get into the game. Sorry, it's already 10 minutes in the video and I haven't started the game yet, but sorry about that. But so offensive line, we have Leno Jr. I'm not sure what his first name is. We have Stanfold the third. We have Corey Linsley, Zedler. We have Brian Valuda. We have Tyler Higby, like I said. Obviously, Chris Godwin, Cole Beasley, and then BB. I don't know who that is. James Conner is a center and running back. Is actually in our fullback position. And that's Derek Carr, Derrick Henry, Devontae Adams, Julio Jones, Isaiah Ford, and then OBJ is down here, but he's injured. Defensive side of the ball. We have Micah Hyde, Kyle Van Noy Wilson. His first letter of his first name is E. Wilson. Perryman, Max Crosby, Jackson. I think it's like Kyle Jackson or something like that. We also have Patrick Peterson down here. But he's a corner. We have Xavier Rhodes, Brandon Graham, Al Lua. His last name is Alualu. And then we also have Henderson. We also have Byron Jones, and then we do have Patrick Peterson as our set insurance cornerback. And then we also have Eller. And then special teams, we have Justin Tucker. He's been my kicker for my last two fantasy draft franchises because right now he holds the record for the longest field goal in NFL history with a 66-yarder last season. And Johnny Hecker was my punter last year. I have him as my punter again. Corey Linsley, long snapper. Justin Tucker is doing the kickoffs. And then Patrick Peterson, who, yes, he is a cornerback. He will be our kick and punt returner. So, yeah. And then, oh yeah, schedule. Sorry, like I said, 12 minutes in the video and I haven't even started the game yet, but 6-minute quarters, by the way, 6-minute quarters. Difficulty will be on All Pro, like in my Packers franchise. But if I do out of the 17 games in the regular season, I will film 5 of them, including this game. Week 1 it's the Commanders in Washington D.C. Week 5 and it's the Texans, who are in our division at home. It's Sunday early game along with this game we're about to play. And then tips after that will be Week 10 against the Chiefs in Kansas City. It's our last game before our bye week, and that is also a Sunday early game. And the game isn't, like I said, Kansas City. And I'll tell you the last 2 games, and that's flip. See you on the other side. You didn't miss anything. And then, so like I said, it'll be the Commanders, the Texans, and the Chiefs. And then after that, it'll be the Cowboys. It's another Sunday early game. The game is at home in Jacksonville. That's Week 15. And then the next up after that will be the last game of the regular season, which will be the Jaguars' Week 18 game against the Tennessee Titans at home in Jacksonville. That is also a Sunday early game. The Jaguars, because the Jaguars don't have many primetime games. They have one primetime game. This Week 16 against the Jets in New York. That's a Thursday night football game. And all the other games, at least after their bye, are Sunday early games. And then here in Week 8, which will be off camera, they play in London, so they play at 9:30 a.m. And then Week 3, I believe, they play the Chargers in LA, and that's a late game. But they only have one primetime game, that Thursday night football game against the Jets in New York in Week 16. There's 17 games in the regular season and 18 weeks. There used to be 16 games and 17 weeks, but now there's 17 games and 18 weeks. So let's get into the game finally. Week 1, Jaguars at Commanders at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. We're really, like I said, it's really in Maryland. But either way, let's play the Commanders. Let's get it. So the difficulty is on All Pro, and the game style is simulation, and the skill level is All Pro. We're in 86 overall, they're in 82 overall. They have Fred Warner, Jamal Adams, Wyatt Teller, who's a right guard. Jamal Adams is the strong safety, and Fred Warner is their middle linebacker, and he's a zone hawk as a superstar X Factor. Devontae Adams has double me. Derrick Henry has freight train, and then Micah Hyde has nothing. Let's get into the game. Play call enhanced. Let's get into the game right now. Sorry, like I said, it's already probably around 15 minutes into the video, and I haven't even gotten into the game yet. But that's what happens in the first episode of a new series. For episode number 2, which hopefully will be in a couple weeks, hopefully I'll be able to get into the game in like 5 minutes or so, or less. But I have to show you the team, all that good stuff. And by the way, the Commanders quarterback, I didn't show you it, but I know it. I've seen it off camera. It's the quarterback for the Commanders. The quarterback for the Commanders is Daniel Jones. Let's watch information. Alan Roach. See, it is in Maryland. Landover, Maryland. I just said the Commanders quarterback is Daniel Jones. I believe that's him right there. Derek Carr and the Jaguars versus Daniel Jones and the Commanders. Fireworks are going off above FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Which obviously it's the Washington Commanders, although it's in their stadium is in Maryland. Wind is 7 miles per hour, basically blowing. You kind of see the arrows blowing like this. We are kicking off first, which I'm perfectly fine with. That means we did the ball to start second half. Here we have Sunday early game here in week 1. Almost perfect on both ends for the power and the accuracy as we're on your way here in the 2022 season. That will be a touchback, as that will go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback, and we're on your way here in the 2022 NFL season. Here's Daniel Jones and the Commanders offense. As I just said, we're on your way here in the 2022 season. Let's go with nickel. Let's go with overload 3 seam. As I'm going to use our Graham right now. 5 wide, empty backfield. On the first play of scrimmage, throw, that ball is caught by their tight end. 9 yards on the first play of scrimmage. Sending down at 1 for Washington. Here we go. 6-minute quarters, by the way. 6-minute quarters. Guy in motion. And fit the end the route. What a play! What a play! As they're running back is Edward Hilaire. And he lost 3 yards. It's only 3rd down and 4. Good play. That came unblocked. But, yeah, lost of 3, actually. So now it's 3rd and 5. A minute into the game, but that was Kyle Edwards-Hilaire. Here we go. They're throwing it. And Jones almost got sacked. Did tackle, but he got like 7 yards on 3rd and 5. First down, Commanders. And that was Lightly. Yeah, there's a guy named Lightly on this team. Here we go. Still user and Graham from the 37. Here's a throw. Kind of like a quick slant or a slant up to their own 49-yard line. Another first down for Washington. Still with cover 6, which might be a mistake. Here we go from basically on the Commander's logo, which is that W, obviously, for Washington. Here we go. Come on, pressure. That ball is caught. He just got around the guy. Is that a face mask? Yeah, so he got like 12 yards, plus he did 15 for the face mask, so they did like a gain of like 30 yards. They don't have all the way to R25, first down Commanders, so they got like 10 yards, plus they got 15 for the face mask. Down the R25-yard line, just over 2 minutes into the game. Come on, boys. Here we go, come on, let's get the pressure on Jones. There's a throw! How is he catching that? Down to the 11, at 1st and 10, Commanders. Their head coach is Ron Rivera. I mean, how a defender right there and he just doesn't look for the ball. He looked for the ball, just that he was on the wrong side of the receiver. Here's a throw, and it's picked off by Micah Hyde. And he might go all the way. He won't, as he's tackled by Jones, but it was picked up by Micah Hyde at the goal line. Or basically the goal line. Here comes Derek Carr and the Jacksonville offense for the first time here this season after the Micah Hyde interception. And this is because this is the Jaguars' offensive and defensive player, but still, I might change him at some point. But because their head coach before I replaced their head coach, which was Doug Peterson with Dash C, Doug Peterson obviously was, before he was the Jaguars coach, he was the Eagles coach, and technically it's the Jaguars playbook, but because their coach before Dash C was Doug Peterson. Here's a throw, circle's wide open, that ball is caught by Higby. Got 9, send it down and short. Let's go inside zone at the first. But either way, because Doug Peterson, who was the head coach of the Jaguars before I replaced him with Dash C, before Doug Peterson was the head coach of the Jaguars, he was the head coach of the Eagles. So really, he has the same playbook he had when he was the head coach for the Eagles. So that really means this playbook, well, so you can see it has single bat, pistol, gun, goal line, Hail Mary, special teams. If you don't the pistol, what's there? Philly special, and fake Philly special. I might run that eventually, maybe, but although we're not in Philly, Doug Peterson was, and he brought that same playbook over to Jacksonville, and I'm still using, like I said, the Jaguars' offensive and defensive playbooks. So we have the fake Philly special and the Philly special, and this is not a run. I thought it was. Let's throw it to Henry. Henry kind of didn't it in stride, but he got 6 yards, sent it down in 4. Throw his PA roll left, which could be a mistake if our left tackle doesn't block, or if the left side of the offensive line doesn't block, but he does. That sort of triangle was open. That might be an offensive lineman. Oliver, who got about 6 yards, first down, Jacksonville. Let's go with halfback dive, as there's a minute to go in the first quarter and counting. From midfield, basically, almost. Here's Henry. And he got 3 yards to their 48-yard line, the Commanders' 48-yard line, first down. Here's a snap. Here's a throw. That ball is going to be caught. Down to the 31 of the Commanders, first down, Jaguars. Good job, boys. That's Oliver, not an offensive lineman. 4 seconds, and that's going to be the end of the quarter. And in the first quarter, no score here in Maryland, but the Jaguars are on the move. I just want to make sure it's not All-Pro, because it better be on All-Pro. Because if it's not, then we have a problem. Better be on All-Pro. I put it on All-Pro, but it is on All-Pro. All-Pro in a simulation. So my 2 franchises are on All-Pro, while my 2 single player modes, which is Face the Franchise and Career Mode, are on Pro. And obviously All-Pro is one step above All-Pro, or All-Pro is one step above Pro. Here's a snap, first and 10. Wide open is Edge, but that was like a long pass. Should have been a bullet pass, but it's still caught by Higby. Down to the 10, first and 10, Jacksonville. From the left hash, first and 10 from the 10. Here we go. There's Henry. Henry gets down to the 4, second down and 3. As there's a first down marker, I believe, at the half-yard line, but second and 3 from the 4. Goal on defense for Washington. They're 1 minute into the second quarter. Here we go. Come on, boys. Henry up the gun. It's tripped. Set 3rd and 2 now. Let's do a quick slant. Oh, that might be hard to do that because they loaded the bots, but you have Higby. I don't know. Here we go. Let's throw it to Higby. Oh, I hit the button, but before he could throw it, he was sacked by Walker. Carr was 4th and 6. And it's a 23-yard field goal, which is like 10 yards short, which is 10 yards shorter than an extra point. I'm going to kick it here with Tucker. Make sure I don't miss it though, because you might be thinking it's a dimmy, but it's not in the wind. 7-mile-per-hour wind. It's going up like this now because of the they changed direction. That should be good, and it is. It will sneak inside the left upright by probably like 10 feet, and it's 3-0 Jacksonville. But the wind's now going, like I said, the wind's now going the other direction because we switched ends, because you switch ends after every quarter. Like it was going this way, but now it's going this way because we switched ends. So you can see it's now going this way, and now it's going the other direction. It's going up now. And the kick by Tucker after making that 23-yard field goal is off, and that will be a touchback. Let's go with nickel. Let's go with cover 1 hole, which is a man defense. Come on, boys. I'm still Brandon Graham. Here we go. 1st and 10 from the 25. 3:50 to go in the first half. 3-0 Jacksonville. Here's a run by Edwards-Helaire. He got absolutely nothing. 7 down and 10. The play. Here we go. Here's Jones. That ball is caught. Tackled by Mike DeHide with the interception. First down, Commanders up to the 36. They got 11 yards on that one. 3 minutes to go in the first half. And remember, we did ball the second half. The Jaguars do. Here we go. Here we are. The throw. That ball is going to be caught. And he's up to the 46-yard line. 10 yards. First down, Washington. Here we go. And they're going to run it. And Hilaire gets nothing. 7 down and 10 for Washington. You didn't miss anything. Last clip ended, and I also had to help my dad with my dogs because it's raining outside and they're all wet, so I had to dry them off and put them in their kennels. But like I said, the last clip did end. Let's get back into the game. You didn't miss anything. 7 down and 10 from the 46. 2-minute warning. 3-0 Jacksonville. Oh no, let's go with linebacker blitz 1 from the 46. They're on 46 for the Commanders. 3-0 Jacksonville here in week 1. Here's Daniel Jones in the backfield with Hilaire. He'll throw it. That ball is broken up. Send it down. Or third down, excuse me. 3rd down and 10. Let's go with cover 3 Sky. You're on 3rd down. Here we go. From the 46, let's force a punt. Let's score before halftime and then score after halftime. Here we go. Come on. There's a throw. That ball is caught. Tackled him short while he went out of bounds. Then he got 6 yards, but he was 4 yards short. 4th down as the guy who caught it did catch it, but went out of bounds after he caught it. Here's a punt by whoever the Commanders punter is. It's off to the left. And that ball going into the end zone. And it will go into the end zone for a touchback. As it will bounce into the end zone for a touchback as it hops, or as it bounces at the 8. And then goes into the end zone, or as it bounces at the 8 and then goes into the end zone for a touchback. From the 20, 1st and 10 Jacksonville, 3-0 Jacksonville in the game. Here we go. Come on, let's do a TD this time. I don't know why I'm chucking it. Chucking it. That ball hit the hands of the defender. Almost picked it off. Send it down. 1:39 to go. We need 150 rushing yards. We have 14 so far. I saw that when I paused the game. Let's get some yards here, and he only got 4. 3rd and 6 now. He has 5 rushes, 18 yards. Let's go to Ohio spacing. Use 3rd down, 1:20 to play. X is wide open. That ball is caught. First down. Yes, first down is a forward progress with 1:10 to play. 1 minute to go from the 31. Let's at least do a field goal because remember we do the ball after halftime. Let's double dip here. Let's throw it on the run. Car! And it hit the hands of the defender and the receiver. Send it down. Halfback dive. Here we go. Here's Henry. Henry got clipped. Not 6 yards. 3rd and 4 now. Shows PA roll left. That could be a mistake though. 35 seconds to go. I'm kind of running all that slot down. Here we go. X is wide open. That ball is caught. And he's out of bounds at the 43 of the Commanders. Right? Yeah, 43 of the Commanders. 27 seconds to go on the clock stops because he went out of bounds. And we have all 3 timeouts. Plus the Commanders have all 3 timeouts as well. 27 seconds from the near field goal range. Here we go. Here's Trino in a tight window. And the defender came over and batted it down. Sent it down. 22 seconds. Here's Henry. Henry, I don't call a timeout here. 3rd and 5 now from the 37. It'll be a long field goal from here. But remember, the wind is kind of going with the tip if I do tip it because the wind's going that way. Let's go with Mesh from the 37. 17 seconds to go. We have all 2 timeouts left. Not all 2 timeouts. 2 timeouts. Here we go. Circle, open it, wide open. It's the center and tight end down to the 12, down to the 22 with 12 seconds to go, and we call our center timeout. Here we go. From the 22, 12 seconds to go, 1 timeout. Here we go. Here's a throw. A ball is caught, and he's in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. As he caught it, broke a tackle, and got in. That's Tyler Higbee. With 6 seconds to go in the first half, it's now 9-0 Jacksonville. And here's Thunder with the PAT. And the PAT is right down the middle. And it's 10-0 Jacksonville. 6 seconds to go in the first half. 80 yards. And it's the first touchdown pass of the year for Derek Carr. And the first touchdown reception of the year for Tyler Higbee. Let's squib it here with 6 seconds. 6 seconds. Let's squib it in here. Force them to return it. They might have 1 point from scrimmage, but either way, it's returned about the 26. Just don't let them return it for a touchdown. 3 seconds from the 32. They just might knee it, or they might try to check it deep. I'm not sure. But either way, let's play prevent defense. Man, 3 deep. They might just knee it here. Now, they're not kneeing it. And then they're in Hail Mary formation because there's 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Here we go. Last play of the half bar. Defensive foul. There's a throw. That ball is caught, but that goes out of bounds. Got 10 yards, but that's the end of the half. Halftime here in Washington, or halftime here in Maryland. The score is 10-0 Jaguars. Let's listen in to Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports halftime report. Coach. EA Sports halftime report with Jonathan Coachman. Yeah, 16 games. Colts at Texans. That's 2 AFC South teams. Actually, we're in the AFC South. It's 24-7 Texans at halftime. Patrick Mahomes. Yes, Patrick Mahomes is on the Texans. Okay, Saints at Falcons. At 17-7 Falcons late in the first half. Justin Fields for the Saints. Justin Herbert for the Falcons. And then it's Browns at Panthers. And so late in the first half, it's 21-0 Panthers. Their quarterback is Matt Jones, while Tom Brady's in the Browns, and he's losing by 21. Yeah, they only shot 3 games. So we're up 10-0 at halftime, and we also did ball the second half. The Jacksonville Jaguars do. Here we go, 7.5, 10-0 Jacksonville. Let's get it. Here we go. It's return middle. 12 minutes to go in this game. We're up 10-0. Here's a tip by the Commanders kicker, and we're on your way in the second half. And now we'll be return from the 4. Turn from the 4-yard line by Patrick Peterson, the veteran cornerback, and he's up to the 30-yard line. 4 seconds into the third quarter. Here we go. The return by Peterson, the veteran cornerback. Still inside zone. We just still got a lot more yards for rushing yards. No, I should have done passing yards, but instead I did rushing yards. Here's Henry. It really did not rush more than like 10 yards. He has 34 rushing yards, but still over 100 away from the goal. And there's only 2 quarters of play. Here we go. Here's a snap. Here we go. Wide open is square. I don't run it with Carr. That might count towards the rushing yards. It's a team total, not just 150 yards for Henry. I believe it's 150 rushing yards as a team, but that's like 14 right there, so we're probably about 100 away from our goal. From the 49, throw over the middle, that ball's caught. Higbee had to come back for it, though, not 6 yards to the Commanders' 45-yard line, sitting down in 4 for Jacksonville. Let's get out of here. Let's go with play type. Let's go with, why not screen pass? Let's go with halfback slip screen. This would be the Henry. Send it in 4. 4.5 minutes to go in the third. We're up 10. Trying to be up by 3 scores. There's Henry. And broke a tackle. Henry is down to the 24-yard line. Gain of what? 21. First down, Jacksonville. Let's go with a quick pitch. Touchdown at PAT will make it a 3-score game. Here we go. Here's Henry trying to hit the edge, and he got pummeled. And he lost the yard. Send it down. Here we go. Kind of a high snap. This is the Connor. Connor just got pummeled at the first down marker. 3rd and inches from the 14. That was a half-back draw, but that was our center string running back. Now it's a Z spot, 3rd and inches as we're halfway through the 3rd quarter. If I don't get this and it's 4th and inches, I might go for it. Here we go. Wide open in circle. That's Godwin. And he's still fighting down to the 4. 1st and goal, Jaguars. So a strong toss to Henry. This might be a mistake. Can he get the edge? And that was a mistake as he lost 3 yards. He not only has 30 rushing yards, but Connor has 10. Carr has 14. But we're still probably like 9 yards away from our goal. Here we go. 2nd and goal from the 7 now. 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Here we go. We gotta end this drive with a TD. And Carr, can he get in? Carr is in! Touchdown! Jaguars! A rushing touchdown for Derek Carr. And it's 16-0 Jaguars. And we are within an extra point of making it a 3-score game. So right now it's still a 2-score game, but PAT would make it a 3-score game. And it's PAT by Tucker is right down Broadway. 17-0 Jaguars with like 2.5 minutes to go in the quarter. That drive lasted 3 minutes and 59 seconds. 1:57 to go on the clock, or 1:57 to go in the 3rd quarter. We're up 17-0. We took 4 minutes off the clock. Just over 4 minutes off the clock. Here's a kick by Tucker. We're up by 3 scores with only 8 minutes to play, and that's through the uprights for a touchback. I believe that did go through the uprights, or if it didn't, it was just short. But either way, it's a touchback. And there's only 8 minutes to go in the game, or really 7 minutes and 57 seconds left to be exact. But either way, they're just over a quarter to play, and they're going to run it. And Hilaire, who only has 1 rushing yard on 4 attempts, got 4 on that one. But, I mean, at this point, they need 3 scores. 90 seconds to go in the 3rd. 17-0 Jaguars here in Maryland. Here we go. They're on throw it. That ball is in no man's land. 3rd and 6 now. And it's a huge 3rd down. They might go for it, possibly, if they don't get this, because I don't think they would, but if they punt the ball back to us, it could be game over. Here we go. Here's a throw. That ball is caught. He got about, I don't know how many yards he got, up to the 41-yard line now. 1:15 to go. 1st down. Let's go a cover 2 man. 1 minute to play in the 3rd. 17-0 Jaguars. Come on, boys. And they're running it. And he got around the guy. Broke 2 tackles, but eventually number 8 brought him down. Got 4 yards. He has 5 rushes and 5 yards total in this game. Sent him down and sits, though, with only 25 seconds to go in the 3rd, though. And they're still only at their own 45-yard line. They're still running it, despite there's only a quarter and change to go. Here's Hilaire. Got 2. 3rd and 4 now. And that could be the end of the quarter because they're not hurrying it up or anything. That is the end. No, there's still 3 seconds. They might snap it. And they will not. We head to the 4th quarter here in Maryland. 17-0 Jaguars. As we scored neither team scored in the 1st quarter. And then we scored 10 points in the 2nd quarter and 7 points in the 3rd quarter. And then obviously the Commanders haven't scored any points. And obviously the Commanders. The Jaguars, neither team scored in the 1st quarter. And then in the 2nd quarter, the Jaguars scored 10 points, and the Commanders got shut out. That means they scored 0 points in the 2nd quarter. And then in the 3rd quarter, the Jaguars scored 7 points, and the Commanders scored 0 points. So the Commanders scored 0 points in the 1st quarter, 2nd quarter, and the 3rd quarter. And then the Jaguars scored 0 points in the 1st quarter, 10 points in the 2nd quarter, and 7 points in the 3rd quarter. Here we go. From the 47, 3rd and 4, huge 3rd down. That ball is going to be caught. But that's DeMarcus Robinson. I don't know who the heck that even is, but up to our 44-yard line. They're not hurrying it up or anything. I mean, there's only 5.5 minutes to go in the game, and they're still down by 3 scores. And here we go. They're on by 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They snap it. 5:30 to go. Wide open is number 80. The tackle by Hyde down to the 22, but clock continues to run here. That was likely a Den, who has 5 receptions, 58 yards. There's only 5 minutes to go. When the 22 of the Jaguars did drive for the Commanders so far, for best of the game. Here we go. That ball is going to be caught. Broke a tackle. And he wrote another tackle down to the 6. 1st and goal with under 5 to play. Come on, boys. I mean, we've been playing the defense all game, and then everything's wide open here. Come on. We haven't had a sack yet. 4.5 minutes to go. from the 6. First and goal for the Commanders. Here's a throw. And it was in some traffic. Incomplete. 4:23 to go. Come on, boys. Here's a throw. That ball is going to be caught. Touchdown, Commanders. As they're on the board for the first time in the game and the season. And it's 17-6. As this game is not over yet. 4:21 to go. It's now a 9-point game. And here's the extra point by their kicker. And the kick is good. It's now a 10-point game. 17-7 Jaguars. 4:21 to go in the game. I don't think they're onside it here. And they are not. 4:21 to go. Both teams have all 3 timeouts plus a 2-minute warning. Both teams have all 3 timeouts plus a 2-minute warning. And it is a 10-point game. Come on, boys. Start with a run, but we go. Here's Henry. Here's Henry. And Henry, I'll take that run. 4 yards. Just 34 rushing yards now, but we're not going to get that goal. Let's go a stick here. Let's throw it. Under 4 to play. We're up 10. Now make sure you don't choke the game away now. Yeah, we've had a good game so far. Here we go. I'm going to throw it to R1 down the field. And that was inaccurate because he was on the run. 3:45 to down. Now it's 3rd down. This is bad. Let's go with a screen. That might be a mistake because they could blow it up or intercept it. But also it could be a 1st down. Here we go. Screen on 3rd down. And that almost was intercepted by a defender. The defender was right there. But Henry's got it for about, what, 20-yard gain up to the 47. 1st down, Jacksonville. A huge 1st down to keep the ball and keep the clock moving. 3:15 to play. We're almost at midfield. Here's a throw. That ball is going to be caught by Jones. I haven't said his name yet. 2 yards, but the clock continues to move. 3 minutes to go. I'm going to put the tempo right now is normal. There's no huddle, normal, no huddle, and then shoot clock. And I'll put it on shoot clock. I'll take the play clock down to 10 seconds. There's only 2:30 to go in the game. We're still up by 10 points. Just 2 scores. Here's Henry. Henry got to midfield. Well, actually, our 49 to their 49. 3rd and 7 now. That's going to take us to a 2-minute warning. Here we go. 2-minute warning at 17-7 Jaguars. Commanders haven't even used any of their timeouts yet. Well, it's suggesting to run it. But also, if I might be able to get the 1st down. Even if I don't, they would have to use a timeout. And we're up by 2 scores. And who knows, he might get the 1st down. And Henry does not. Commanders use their 1st timeout. 1:56 to go in the game. But if we have a good punt here, we can pin them deep. 4th down and 4, and I'm gonna punt it with Hecker. Hopefully we can have a good punt though. Hopefully I have a good punt here. Maybe pin him inside the 10 or the 15 or maybe even the 5. That ball stay in. Stay in. What a punt by Hecker as it's down by the Jaguars. As it's down by the Jaguars at the 6-yard line. Good punt by Hecker that landed at the 8, and then it was down by the Jaguars at the 6. 1st and 10 Commanders at the 6-yard line, down 2 scores, 1:50 on the clock, and they have 2 timeouts. But they need a touchdown and a field goal. Here we go. And they get a safety. That ball is almost picked off. I don't know if it sits if it was picked off. Send it down. Here we go. Here we go. And a safety here. And in the end zone. And that's not a safety as he's sacked by someone. I'm not sure who sacked him. And then the Commanders call their set and timeout. 1:41 to go. 3rd and 15 as he got sacked at the 1. Inside the 1 as we were matter of feet from getting a safety there and definitely ending this game. Here we go. Here's a throw. Turn around. The defender turned around and broke it up. Now it's 4th down. And it's only the game. 4th and 15 from basically from their own 1-yard line with 1:38 to go. This is the game here. And here's a throw. That ball is caught but then dropped by the receiver because of the hit by the defender. What a hit to jar the ball loose. And now we take it over at the 1-yard line, 1st and goal, and that's going to be the game. But I'm just going to run it in here, hopefully, with Henry. Henry, up the gut. He is in. Touchdown. Jacksonville, and that's your dadder right there. The fourth down stop was really the dadder, but that touchdown, or the fourth down stop was the first dadder, and the touchdown was the second. The fourth down stop was the first dadder, and the touchdown was the second dadder. 23-7. I might have missed the extra point. No, I thought I did, but I didn't. 24-7 Jaguars. 1:33 to go on the clock. I'm just going to sim the rest of the game. There's no point of playing, and no point of this video being any longer than it has to be. So I'm just going to sim to the end of the game, because we're not going to lose. Will they score? No. Final score, 24-7. As Ron Rivera is sad, and Dash C is happy. Although you don't see Dash C, but Dash C is happy. Ron Rivera is sad, or disappointed, or whatever. As we start 1-0, and the Commanders start 0-1. I mean, I believe it's the first time on camera that I've won a game on All-Pro, because I've won a game on All-Pro. I've won several games on All-Pro off camera, but on camera I haven't played on All-Pro that much, and this is my first win on All-Pro on camera. The Jaguars win the game 24-7, and the Jaguars start the 2022 campaign 1-0, and the Commanders start their 2022 campaign 0-1. So we're 1-0. Commanders are 0-1. Good start for the Jaguars. Davante Adams, did he have any receptions in this game? I don't even know if he did. That's not what I wanted to see. Where are the stats? Oh, the stats are the third one. Okay. Derek Carr, 14 for 18, 180. 77% completion percentage, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Jones, 14 for 21, 155, 66% completion percentage, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Rushing, Derrick Henry at only 45 yards, 15 for 45, 1 TD, which at the end. It's Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 10 for 20. Carr, 3 for 20. Connor, 1 for 11. So that's definitely not, that's not even 100 yards, 55, that's like 65 rushing yards right there. So we didn't get that goal, so be it. Receiving, I'm just going to do our team, because who knows. The Commanders did have Robert Woods. Yeah, Davante Adams did not get a single completion. He'd be 5 for 77 and a TD. Henry, 3 for 46. James O'Shaughnessy, I might be botching his last name, 2 for 23. Josh Oliver, who's another one of our tight ends, 2 for 22. Julio Jones, 1 for 2. And then Chris Godwin, 1 for 10. So Godwin and Jones only got 1 reception. Godwin had 1 reception for 10 yards, and then Jones had 1 reception for 2 yards. And Adams, I think he played. I don't think he's injured, but he never made a catch. But so be it. Jones and Godwin only had 1 reception each, and then Adams never had a reception. And then defense, we had 2 tackles for a loss for Trey Henderson, 4 tackles, and then do we have any stats? Stats, we had 1. It was by Max Crosby. That was the one at the 1 yard line with a minute and a half to go in regulation. And then the interceptions, we had 1 that was by Micah Hyde on, I believe it was the Commanders' first drive, wasn't it, or on their second drive or something. But 1 sack by Max Crosby and then 1 interception by Micah Hyde. Micah Hyde is our free safety, while Max Crosby is our left outside linebacker. And then obviously Kitten tied for 1 for 1 on field goals. He made it 1 field goal from 23 yards, and then obviously it was 3 for 3 on extra points. As we finished with 3 touchdowns, 3 extra points, and 1 field goal, and then the Commanders finished with 1 touchdown and 1 extra point. As we beat the Commanders by 17 at 24-7. As the Jaguars beat the Commanders by 17 at 24-7. As the Jaguars start their season 1-0, and the Commanders start their season 0-1. As I just said, next episode of the series will be the Jaguars Week 5 game against the Houston Texans. I believe it's at home in Jacksonville. And remember, the Houston Texans have 99 overall quarterback Patrick Mahomes. And the other 3 teams, by the way, in the AFC North, not the AFC North. The other three teams in the AFC South, which is the division of Jets, or the other three teams in the AFC South, which is the division that Jacksonville Jaguars are in. The other three teams are the Houston Texans, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Tennessee Titans. So that's the other three teams in the AFC South, which is the division that Jacksonville Jaguars are in. Jaguars start 1-0, and the Commanders start 0-1. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You'll find out what and when the next video on this channel will be when I post it. And hopefully the next episode of this series will be sooner than later. And like I said, you'll find out what and when the next video on this channel will be when I post it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay guys, time for it. Closing the board. If you episode, hit the like button. Okay guys, time for it. Closing the board. If you episode, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Tell your mom, dad, grandma, and grandpa, or tell your mom, dad, grandma, and grandpa, aunts, uncles, pets, and friends about these videos. And you know, I'm gonna see you in episode number 2 of this Jacksonville Jaguars Madden 23 Fantasy Draft Franchise Series. See you in episode number 2. And eat a lot of bacon and go Jaguars.